question number 6. So we're given with the equation h, or relation, h is equal to 3a plus 28.6. So the question says, A, pediatrician uses this model above to estimate the height, which is the age of a boy, in inches in terms of the boy's age A. So we've got the variable h as the height, and A is for age. Okay, between the ages of 2 and 5, based on this model, what is the estimated increase in inches, so in the height, each year? Okay, so to answer this question correctly, you have to recognize that this is linear relation, which means you should have this form of expressions. Y is equal to mx plus b, where the m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So you have to recognize that h is like a y value, the output, and a is the input, and 3 is the slope, for example, here, and 28.6 is the y-intercept. So slope is another word for rate, or change in value, or change in y over x. Rate, in this case, the estimate increase in the height over year would be the 3, which is the answer A. Okay, nothing to be calculated. You just need to figure out what the slope is in this expression. Question 7. So we've got expression looks very complicated, but it is actually easy to answer. So this is the formula given for monthly payment M needed to pay off a loan of P dollars at R% annual interest over N months. So these are just the definition of the variables. We've got M, P, R, and N. Okay, so which of the following gives the P in terms of M, R, and N? So this expression, or this phrase, is just asking you to rewrite the equation in the form of P is blah blah blah, using the other variables, using the other variables. So you would have to have like variables like M, N, R, anything else? Yeah, and on the right side of the equation, and just the P on the left side of the equation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this expression. So this part, I'm going to call it A over B. Okay, so the numerator of this fraction part, I'm going to call that A. Okay, and I'm going to call the denominator part of the fraction B. Okay, so if we rewrite it, it will be M is equal to A over B P, like that. So this A over B and P are multiplied. So this is multiplication. So to find the expression in terms of other variables other than P, all you need to do is you just need to get rid of this A over B to the other side. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna multiply this expression, so a whole equation, by the reciprocal of this fraction, which is B over A. Okay, so by multiplying the reciprocal of the given fraction, these are canceled. These are all gone, like this. But make sure you do the same thing on the other side of the equation. So multiply B over A, like that. So now we have P on one side and b over a times m on the other side of the equation. Okay, if you want, you can just flip it left and right and write it as p is b over a times m. Okay, going back to our definition of a and b, remember the b was the denominator part of the fraction and a was the numerator part of the fraction. So you just need to go back to the original expression of the a and b, and we have b as 1 plus r over 1200 to the power of n minus 1 over numerator, which is a r over 1200, 1 plus r over 1200 to the power of n, which is b over a, and then multiply by m. And that's it. So find the ones that in from the choice. So the same expression as ours would be the b right here. Okay, so that's the correct one. Okay, so make sure you understand how to change the expression in terms of the other variable, and make sure you multiply the reciprocal of the fraction to get rid of the fraction part of the factor, to isolate the variable of p. Question 8. So if a over b is 2, what is the value of 4b over a? So we're going to use the given relation, to figure out what the 4b over a. So we've got two variables. A over b is 2. So we can write a as 2b. And we're going to substitute a with a 2b in this expression. Okay, so 4b over a is 4b over 2b. All I did was substitute a with a 2b. And just cancel out whatever we have here. So a, b, and b will be canceled. 4 over 2, that will be just 2. So the answer is 2. The correct answer is C. Question 9. So we've got a system of linear equations, and to find the solution, you have two options. You can either substitute these choices, so these points, and plug it into both equations and find the ones that satisfy both equations, and that will give you the right answer. Or you can actually solve system of equations using either elimination method or substitution method. So for this this question, I'm going to use elimination method. Okay, so first equation is starting with the variable x and then y. The second one is in the opposite order. So I'm going to change the order of the variable, so we can eliminate the variable vertically. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the equation for the second one as negative x plus 2y is negative 19. Okay, to eliminate one of the variables, so better one is, I think, the y, so that I just need to multiply it by 2 to have the same coefficients. Okay, so let's rewrite it as by multiplying by 2 to the second equation. Okay. So 3x plus 4y is negative 23. Multiplying 2 to the second equation, so that will be negative 2x plus 4y is negative 38. Okay, so these 4 and 4, they have the same sign, so we would have to eliminate these variable, the y variable, by subtracting it. Okay, so subtracting 3x minus negative 2x will be just adding these two terms, so that will be 5x, and this will be just 0 will be gone, and negative 23 minus negative 38, so that will be negative 23 plus 38, so that will be positive 15 and divide both sides by 5, and that will give us x value as 3. So we also need to find the y. So to find the y, you can either substitute this x as a 3 into either first equation or second equation. So I'm going to use the second equation because this is simpler equation, because the leading coefficient or the coefficient of the x term is just 1. Much easier. So let's substitute sub x is a 3 into second equation. Okay, so 2y minus x is negative 19. 2y minus 3 is negative 19. 2y is negative 16. Divide both sides of the equation by 2, which is negative 8. So we have x is a 3, y is a negative 8, which is 3 and negative 8. The correct answer is B. Okay. Question 10. We've got a function g of x defined as ax squared plus 24. So for the function g, a is constant and g of 4 is 8. And the question says, what is the value of g of negative 4? Okay, so g of 4 is, you're substituting x with the 4, so that will be a times 4 squared plus 24, which is 8. So 4 squared, that's 16a plus 24, 8. 16a is negative 16. A is negative 1. So now we have what the a value is, which is negative 1. We can rewrite the g of x as negative x squared plus 24. So now we can find what the g of negative 4. So g of negative 4 is negative 4 squared plus 24. Make sure you computate what the negative 4 squared is before you take the negative, because remember the BEDMAS. You would have to apply the exponent first before you multiply or divide. So negative 4 squared, that's 16. So negative 16 plus 24 is positive 8. So the answer is A.